Someone who is so ardently devoted to something that it resembles an addiction. A golf addict. Freak, junkie, nut. Someone who is physiologically dependent on a substance. Abrupt deprivation of the substance produces withdrawal symptoms. To cause someone or oneself to become dependent on something, especially a narcotic drug. Hook.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Recha Ha, Quadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of Great Millstone. Honors and salute to you other elders and brethren, you fellow believers of this faith, and shalom to the elect. So anyway, I'll try to make this video short. There was a brother that asked me how certain brothers are fervent doing videos and continuing and doing the certain things that they do in videos, including myself and other brothers, you know, and obviously he knows it's the spirit, you know, because he says he has situations where he work a lot, he's got a lot going on in his life. But when you understand addiction, you know, addiction make you do things beyond, you know, your level of reasoning to a degree. You know, I've seen it. You know, I understand it. I was never a drug addict, but I knew a lot of them. And I've seen the behaviors and how addiction works. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this video out, because what this is a form of an addiction, right? And I told the brother that when I wake up in the morning, I'm contemplating or thinking, or let me say meditating on what video I'm going to do. And sometimes it's a spiritual thing. I just scroll through and I'll see a response or I'll see something, and it's the lot that the Lord has us in. Now, I also explained that there's certain brothers who may not be set up to do certain type of things where other brothers are. That's what Apostle Paul was talking about, many offices, right? Many members in different offices and parts of the body. But the key is the addiction. The addiction is that spirit that's on you that you can't do nothing without having to do what you need to do for the ministry, right? So I just wanted to touch on that, and I'll really go into some etymology on this word addiction. But first, let me go to Joshua 1:8. It says, this is the law, right? This is the book of the law, shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate, okay, therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. Now, this is the key. Meditate day and night. You know, it's not saying you can't do other things here and there, but this is always on our mind, and it should be. Okay? Kind of like an addict. An addict, they just meditate and they scheme on how they're going to get the next fix. Okay? Or they wake up in the morning and it's like, okay, how I'm going to get money to get what I need to get so I will feel all right. So me personally, I don't feel good unless I'm able to do a video or go out and do the work or talk to brothers. You know, it's all a brotherhood as well. But I'm just going on this avenue here. Okay? Meditate means to ponder, to think abstractly, engaged in mental contemplation. Probably back formative from meditation, right? So now this doesn't always mean you're supposed to, I heard that too, that we meditate on Edom, yeah, to a degree, but the first thing is the elect, right? You meditate on the awakening of the elect and the system going down, because that's our salvation and ultimately the kingdom, right? So I just wanted to make something out of that, of how important it is to meditate or let me say to pray and to be on fire and to be an addict for the truth. Matthew 19:28. And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you that ye have which follow me in a regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye shall sit upon the 12 thrones, judging 12 tribes of Israel, proving it's the Israelites. And everyone that have forsaken houses, brethren, or sisters, or fathers, or mothers, or wife, or children, or lands for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. Right? So we can see here in this situation, all addicts kind of forsake everything. They'll forsake, right, their parents, their children, anything to get to that addiction, whether it's gambling, drugs, some is women. That's the whole key, where you kind of lose control in your addiction or lose control in how you manage. And this is the best place to lose control, right? I mean, there's a balance with everything, obviously. I mean, nobody says do 100 videos a day and don't even eat. But you're supposed to be so much on fire for the truth that you will give up everything to do it. And that's an addiction, right? You have righteous addictions and you have unrighteous addictions. It's all balanced. Mark 12:30, and thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. Again, we've seen addicts that love whatever they like with all their heart, mind, soul, and strength. See, the Lord has a switch in us, right? Dopamines, whatever, if that's what you want to call it. There's a switch in us that when we like things, we want to go for it. Kind of like sugar. That refined sugar is a serious addiction. When a child is a child and they go to the dentist, for whatever reason, they have a sugary lollipop there to give them just to rotten their teeth back out to bring them back, right? For those of you who go to the gym and you go work out, and then you come out of the gym, there's a damn Popeye's chicken right across the street. It's to keep you in that same loop, right? So we see here in the truth, we do videos and we study, and then we go back out of the house and we go walk into the world, and then something brings us right back to what we've been doing all along. So now I'm going to look up a little etymology, right? Let's go to Luke 9:24. For whosoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me shall save it, right? Same thing with drug addiction, right? They will lose their life for that drug to save their life, okay? If you know what I mean. They don't want to suffer, so they'll do whatever they can to get their drugs so they can feel good. So here, you got to lose everything you had, meaning you got to give it up, give up the world. There was a guy came in the truth, I remember years back, and I think he had a PlayStation 3 or something, 2 or 3, and I was having a talk with him. He was new in the faith, and he said, I want to give up everything for the Lord. I said, okay, we had that talk, and then he said he went to the dumpster and threw out his Xbox, PlayStation. He had both of them. And he took all the things he had and just threw it in a dumpster. Now, that does sound good. If there was an addiction or there was a problem, you need to, if you got to get rid of it, get rid of it. But damn, sell it and make some money and aid the ministry. But he was like over righteous. And I was explaining to him, he said he didn't want no women. I said, that's okay. But see, there's certain things you don't make a doctrine. It's okay if you don't want a woman. Not a lot of men, there were some brothers who say, reluctant to mess with women. That's all right. But this is why you have to be guided. And I believe the brother joined the camp, but then I think he fell out. You just got to have a balance in your life. So this is the ministry. And the word ministry goes to meditate. I think I went in there. To ponder, to think abstractly, to engage, the mental contemplation, okay? And this is why I put in here the ministry. What did I put in here? It's basically our ministry, our addiction into the ministry, right? It means to the office or function of a priest, position in the church or monastery, service in the matters of religion, a service of employment, right? We've been employed. Ministry, inferior servants and assistants, priest assistants, okay? Now let me go to the word at hand, addict. I'm gonna look it up. Like we go to the online etymology, highest source of information. It says to devote, to give up oneself to a habit or occupation, from the Latin word addictus, past participle adicere, to deliver, right? To yield, to make over, to sell, properly give one's assent to devote, to consecrate, sacrifice, to sell out. This is what we've done when we've given up everything for the Lord. We've actually sold ourselves out to the Lord. When the Lord don't need us to sell out, but you get the point. We sold everything out around us to come to be with the Lord, right? To betray, to abandon. See that? That's what I just read in Matthew 19. To betray and abandon. You may have to abandon certain situations. Not saying you can't love your family. Not saying not to respect your father and your mother. Right? If everything is okay with y'all, that's cool. But when it comes to this truth, you have to abandon them if they're not a part of it. What I mean, you don't have to cut them off, but in a sense, if they're hindering you from the truth and you have to go do the Lord's work and they say, well, look, you can't be in my house if you're teaching that madness on the highways and hedges. Well, this is where the abandonment has to come. This is where the sacrifice has to come, right? It says to sacrifice, to betray, to declare, that's it. So another scripture came to mind. This is, let me see here. I think it's Romans. I believe I put out Romans. Now, the first commandment, as I said, love the Lord with all your heart, your mind, your soul, and your strength. Right? That is the first commandment. So we're going to go down here to Romans, Salaki, I didn't want to make this video long, but you see how it all comes together when we deal with a form of addiction, right? Because everybody has some form of addiction, no matter what it is. You in hell, and the Most High gave you a chemical that when something feels good, you're going to roll with it. Some people it's food, right? You can chain the refrigerator and they'll take a sawzall and cut the chain off and go in there and start digging in there, Romans 12:1. As I was speaking to someone earlier, we all screwed up in here. You got drug addicts, but then you have other people with other addicts. You got people with dependencies. This is also a dependency. So all of us in this hell, but the way out is through the righteous addiction. It says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies as living sacrifices, the mercies of the power, present your body as living sacrifices, wholly acceptable to God. Read it verbatim, which is your reasonable service. Now, going into our lives and our past and things that we've done, we can never make up to the Lord the things that we've done. And this is why we're thankful for the mercies of Yahweh and his son Yahushua through the Spirit, right, to bring us back through faith and belief and to be thankful. And it's still a continual fight. So this is why we owe everything, to the Lord, and to be thankful that we're not one of those people out there who are all messed up. to everybody else, we look messed up. So that's pretty much the point. So yes, if you're on fire, you're going to have a righteous, if you're fervent, which means hot. Remember he said, I'd rather have you hot nor cold to be hot or cold and rather be lukewarm. Another aspect of addiction is the consequence of walking that path that you're on. Now we ultimately understand there will be a reward. Okay? There's some people who have become addicts and they've cleaned themselves up and they see the reward and looking at the negativity, and now they can see the positivity. Okay, when you go to Matthew 16:24, it says, then said Yahushua, says here Jesus, Yahushua unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. This reminds me, I believe, 2nd Ezra 2 or Ecclesiastes 2, when it says, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So the cross represents the affliction. He's got to deny himself. And I'm sure there's some brothers or sisters who may even be in the truth who may have had some form of chemical addiction and have now switched to the righteous addiction. Anyway, I hope this lesson was edifying. That's all I want to add. Shalom.